crime with no complications. A crime that was unimpassioned and team.
Well, how can a crime be antique?
Supposing that 4 people sit down to play bridge, and one, the odd man out, sits in a chair by the fire. At the end of the evening, that man is found dead. One of the 4, while he is dummy, has gone over and killed him, and intent on the play of the hand, the other 3 have not noticed. Ha ha! There would be a real crime.
I can't see any excitement in that.
Oh, well, that is because you have the melodramatic soul, Hastings. For you, there must be the curiously twisted dagger, the stolen eye of the god, the beautiful woman with auburn hair. Or you would like not one murder, but a series of murders.
I must admit that a second murder in a book can often cheer things up. If the murder happens in the first chapter, and you have to follow up everybody's alibi until the last page but one, it can get a bit tedious. Hello? Oh, good morning. Yes, he's just here. It's Jack for you.
Yes, Chief Inspector?
It looks as if I spoke a bit too soon. There was a murder in Andover last night.
And who was it that was killed?
An old woman by the name of Asher. She kept a little tobacco and newspaper shop. Andover police think they can put their hand on the man that did it, but they'd like to have a look at that anonymous letter of yours. And in view of your involvement, I thought I might stretch a point of protocol and go down there myself. Perhaps you and Captain Hastings might care to join me on the 10:15 from Waterloo.
When did they find the body?
At 1 o'clock this morning. A constable was going on his rounds and noticed that the shop door was unfastened. He went in and found the body huddled behind the counter. It looks as if she was struck down by a heavy blow on the back of the head while she was reaching up for a packet of cigarettes from the shelf.
And do they know when the murder took place?
Well, they've narrowed it down to between 5:30 and 6 o'clock.
And who is the man they reckon committed the murder?
Her husband. He's a German. And a very unpleasant piece of goods by all accounts. He had a job as a waiter for a time. He took to drink, made himself quite unemployable. He's got the shakes, which doesn't do much for you when you're serving a table. They separated years ago, but he used to come round every now and then to get money out of her for drink. Sometimes he'd get quite violent, apparently.
And what does he say?
Rather what you'd expect, that he was off on a pub crawl with his mates.
Was anything taken from the shop?
Not so as you'd notice. But there was one thing that might interest you, Clara. There was a railway guide turned face down on the counter. Open at Andover.
A Bradshaw or an ABC?
An ABC?
So, it is not a coincidence. That was clearly meant for me.
Some old enemy of yours, perhaps. Anyway, if it's all the same with you, Poirot, I'd like to take a look at the body as soon as it's convenient.
She must have been beautiful once.
What makes you say that?
Look at the line of the jaw, the molding of the head. Do they think much force would have been needed to strike the blow?
You mean could a 70-year-old alcoholic with shaky hands have done it? I reckon so.
So it could equal have been done by a woman?
I suppose it could.
And did the dead woman have any children?
No. There is a niece, I believe. Very reliable by all accounts. She's in service at a house near Overton.
That is far from here?
A couple of miles at most.
Then I should like to go and talk to her straight away.
Wouldn't it be better to go to the scene of the crime?
No. I prefer to do that later. Do you know the name of this niece, Inspector Jacques?
Just a minute. I've got it written down somewhere. Here it is. Mary Drower.
She was very good to me. Always. She brought me up after my mother died. She didn't have an easy life, and she went through a lot of trouble on account of that German fellow. My old devil, she used to call him.
Did he threaten her?
Oh, he used to say the most awful things. That he cut her throat and such like.
So you were not very surprised when you heard what had happened?
Oh, but I was, sir. I never believed for one moment that he'd really lay a hand on her. It wasn't as if she was afraid of him. More like the other way round.
Eh bien, suppose that he did not kill her. Suppose that it was somebody else. Have you any idea who that someone else might be?
None at all, sir. It doesn't seem very likely, does it?
You never heard her mention anyone who had a grudge against her?
Never, sir.
Now tell me, Mary, did your aunt ever get anonymous letters?
What kind of letters?
Letters that were not signed, or signed by somebody calling themselves ABC.
Oh, no, sir. Nothing like that. What is this all about, sir?
Present one is in the dark. There is no direction. Now, if I want you at any time, Mary, can I write to you here?
Oh, I shan't stay on here now, sir. I only came here to be near Auntie. I don't care for the country very much. Now that she's gone, I shall go back to London. Gay for a girl there.
In that case, here is my card. Let me know where you are living.
Please, sir. Is there something queer going on?
Yes, my child. There is something queer going on. Later you may be able to help me.
It was 5:30 by the time we reached Mrs. Asher's shop. And then I realized why Poirot had delayed. He wanted to see the place at the same time at which the murder had been committed. There was no mistaking the shop. The sign could be read clearly from the end of the street.
Could that be why, perhaps? But let us go inside.
Not that there was very much to tell us anything there. Only the counter where the ABC guide had been left, and the place where Mrs. Asher had met her death while reaching for a packet of cigarettes for a customer.
So here is a further proof of Mr. Asher's innocence. If he had been having a quarrel with his wife and threatened